There you go. I see it now.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
What were her 4 questions?
How she died.
You listen?
Age. How. Where. All there. Got it?
How she died?
Can't do anything.
How'd you do? You're sweeping. You got volume? Alright. You notice you got a full line at the bottom already? So whenever you get like a full line at the bottom, it's just going to start overwriting all those letters if you don't like false positives. So just take your big dial, turn it down to 6 o'clock. Whenever you're getting like too much like ABC. Just not with the adjustable noise control. So I can give you a set of earbuds for it. No, but we are near Big John's.
Okay, because I got choked over in that corner, and then I got something else that I don't remember what it was. Are we near the horses?
Yes.
Okay.
Still only 1 block away.
And I keep getting matched.
Take a guess why. Matches do what?
This place burns on fire. Oh, I've been getting matched ever since we got here. Yeah, I've got horse for sports purposes. I mean, she's my daughter. We can share.
I get it.
We don't mind. Like we keep saying there's a woman's voice coming through.
It doesn't matter if it's male or female.
Well,
Remember, it's radio
male.
station.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it's a radio.
Everybody, let's come on back to the back.
I didn't get too much.
It's okay. You're getting used to it. So, with yours, don't force something to happen. Just let it happen. Whatever you hear is what you hear. Because again, everybody's asking questions. So, you don't know the answers that you're going to get all, or if anything's going to be relevant at all.
Try to start for you.
Yeah, videos, go ahead and give your hands a break. So,
Wonder Henry Secular, is that injured?
Injured.
And then right as they were walking by, I got direction.
okay. So Chris, you got any, I know we were chatting. Did you hear anything on your spirit box along the way?
Not on the way, no.
Okay, so EMF detectors, for those of you that have them, baseline is going to be between 7 and 9 because of the lampposts, so anything above that 9 is really where I get excited. We don't always get a whole lot out of this alley, just so you know. This is actually great camera work, especially Joe's, because this is where we've caught some orbs in the past. Every tour that comes down here, and again, this is a staple for Charleston, so apologies if you've heard this before, but I'm going to tell you a lot differently because of what we're doing. So here's how this goes. This is called Philadelphia Alley now. It used to be called Duelers Alley. So this is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. I want you to remember that dueling was illegal, so they actually had to go find a hiding spot to get, to do the shakedown, basically. So here's how the story goes. We all tell the same story. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. Any of you listening to Spirit Boxes, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it is not coincidence. We get it all the time because it's part of the doctor's name. So if you guys are getting my point on that one. Anyway, Joseph Brown Ladd, L-A-D-D. So he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. So she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow, and the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money, so he tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. So Dr. Ladd comes to Charleston to prove that he's not after her cash. The coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start. His name was, well, there was somebody walking by. He's seen it all. His name was Ralph Isaacs. He was about to stop everything. I stop on Ralph because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from, R.I. This is exactly why I bought that Ouija board device that Dylan's holding. So we were getting R.I. all the time on regular spirit boxes, and I wanted to make sure we were hearing it correctly because we've had it multiple times. I've been coming to this location for over 3 years, and we get it all the time. We just need a secondary clue so we know who it belongs to. Anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from some friends of mine, and you'll be safe and good to go. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He wasn't after Amanda's money. So Amanda gets wind of this. She's moving down soon so they can get married. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. Here's what I'm going to tell you about whistling ghosts. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit in the future has a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. It's just one of those things. There's actual proof of this, but I'm going to get to that. Anyway, Ralph and Dr. Ladd go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's just the way the hierarchy of Charleston worked back then. He gets better seats. So, on the way home from seeing Richard III one night, they're arguing over the new actress. The doctor thought she was great. Ralph didn't. They start arguing, and Ralph is insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island. It gets very ugly. They went their separate ways. Ralph, having friends around town, goes to the newspaper. He puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. Dr. Ladd saw it. It's rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. Let's settle this shit and somebody's going to die. So they came down, they took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air, and he shot. He didn't want to kill his friend, which is often what happened at a duel. Ralph has his one bullet. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Dr. Ladd didn't die, but Ralph proved his point that he's still pissed off. So, the doctor's friends pick him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later after refusing medical treatment on November 2nd of 1786. So, the reason why he refused medical treatment, this guy's a doctor. He probably tried to bleed out the bullet wound himself because bullet wounds were much different in 1786 than what we think of them now. So he's probably just bleeding out the lead poisoning. So, every tour that comes down here tells you to listen for the whistles. Cool thing for you, you don't have to do it in real time. We have 3 cameras rolling right now, plus my voice recorder. If a whistle's going to happen, it's going to happen. I will tell you, on spirit boxes, we've gotten the word whistle, we've had whistling parts of songs, and the word doctor come up on here in this location all the time. So when I say whistling parts of songs, think of Guns N' Roses' Patience. Think of the Moves Like Jagger song. All those songs have whistling parts in it. We'll only get the whistle. I've even had it from commercials. Which, by the way, when I was the air conditioner stopped, you hear how quiet it is? It is always this quiet, even on a busy Saturday night. So it's kind of an eerie thought. Some people claim you can hear gunshots. I don't have anything from gunshots. If you're going to try this on your own and go all the way through the alley, I can't take you all the way through because I've actually been kicked out of here. We're going to talk about that next because that's the fun part of the story. But anyway, turn on your voice recorders, walk all the way through, see what you get later on. What I will tell you is that every local knows this story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. I do it every single night or every single morning now that I have an office down here. I have to pass the alley. Since I got booted out of here, I always throw a whistle just because that's what you do around town. So just kind of keep in mind. Now, here's how I got booted out of here. This is the fun part. Just making sure there's no neighbors because they're the ones that booted me out of here. They actually turned me in. So the alley didn't go all the way through this way. So this is going further back than Dueler's Alley. It was cut off. There was a wall about halfway between us and Cumberland Street. That's because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston, which means those bricks down at the other side are older than the bricks on this side. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down at the end, along with fingerprint swipes at the end. I'm sure you guys all picked up by now. I'm all about history and piecing things together. I would always take my groups through here when I first started doing tours. So one night, November 26th of 2020, my entire group of 10 is huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen. I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. I'm trying to scurry them along because it's also outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I was just trying to be respectful, not knowing I was out of bounds of where we're not allowed to go. So the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because Dad's getting yelled at. She was on the tour that night, and we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I worked in retail management for over 20 years, mainly for Walmart. I will never work another Thanksgiving in my life. So you guys get the point of that. The next day was November 28th. Yes, the dates are relevant. I'm getting to it. So I called my partner that I had at the time. I told him what happened about the new owner, and he said, you can't go down that far. You're only allowed to go down halfway or reroute the group. told my group that night, I don't believe in the next story. I've never had anything happen there. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. Let's see what happens. So before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. I say pirate, most of your minds went to Blackbeard. Female pirate, Anne Bonny. That's who we're going to next. So I was like, all right, we'll see what else happens. We get up there. I told them what little bit I did know about piracy, which wasn't much at the time. Somebody else heard the number 300. I don't know what that means in real time. I write it down. The next day I'm doing the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th, 1720. The exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So I went, yeah, now I gotta learn about pirates. Well, let's just pass back
I just
through
got
again.
precisely.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Oh, you're good, you're good. We're not allowed down that far as tours go. So the next phase, yes, we're going to be discussing pirates. And since then, I've researched and read more damn books on pirates than I ever wanted to in my entire life, trying to make sure we had a factual story about pirates. It's very difficult to do because it's pirate lore, guys. But lucky for you, I have a master's degree in creative writing. So trying to piece together a factual investigation it didn't take me too long, just about a year to get all the details right, that's all, and about 50 books on pirates, trying to make sure I had all the details right. I will also tell you that the next location is a hit or miss location. Anne Bonny is said to be seen all over town. Where we're going it's not that I haven't had evidence there, but I never know what's going to happen at that specific location, because we could get things that are relative to the space we're at now. So kind of keep that in mind. We're looking for bleed over from the Dr. Ladd story and whatever we're going to get out of the pirate story, where we will be able to spread out like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion. Any other words besides precisely pop up before we leave the space?
Since we've been here, I've gotten psychology, consent, precisely, and muddy.
Yeah, nothing. Last thing before we leave, where the gate is, where we're sitting right here. This gate, remember that the alley didn't go all the way through this way. So this was a shortcut to get to the cemetery in the event there was a loser to a duel, a dead guy. So otherwise they'd have to go all the way down to Queen Street and loop back around with the dead body. They made this, you can see that the archway, you'll notice it when you guys pass by it, is actually original, but the wrought iron is not. I want to say that the wrought iron was probably put there in the early 1900s. But again, I call this the death gate because, again, it was the passageway to get over to the courtyard, cut over to the cemetery. Just so that way they can celebrate the winter with a pint a lot quicker than dragging a dead body around town. So, everybody ready to go learn about pirates?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you guys got really quiet on me when you got down here. So video cameras, if you want to keep them rolling, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But we will stay out of the way of the other tours when we get around the corner. You'll see me pull us to the back, and like out of the way kind of area, so I can go over the history, and then we will spread out and kind of see what we can find. It's a little bit more of a versatile location, where I won't be like so much worried about the vehicles around us. So, but again, if you get another 126, that's going to be a very odd anomaly for that location, just so you know. 126 is super high for any location outdoors, unless you're standing next to an electrical pole. Did you get anything coming out of yours?
I heard jealous, but that's it. Like nothing around it.
Okay. Again, yours doesn't always give all of the crazy other stuff that the others are doing. So, all right, let's go learn about pirates. Let's do this. R, right? It's rated R. I had to pull the dad joke, everybody. Get you guys waking up.
I'm about to send this thing. You don't talk about money. You think like you damn broke or something. You broke. You love your little money.
here.
Sort of by chance approaching the area.
Yes.
The next day, he showed me his pictures from his own. The kid at CBS getting a very
Joe, the biggest orb I've ever caught on that ever has been here. Just
Okay.
so you know, bigger than my head.
Oh,
and
wow.
intelligent, moving around.
Trust to sit here and pan back and forth.
I was actually near that wall, but we're going to go over the history here first. I'm sorry, was I moving too fast for them? The scooter dying, maybe?
Yeah, should be fine.
Okay. Anybody hear anything along the way? Well, we got to get you guys hearing stuff on this thing. Like every one of them out here, we got to get you guys listening to something. Should be listening to
Sure, it was part of a song, but I was just told to get a job.
What did it say? Get a job?
Get a job.
Well, I have one. I'm good.
That may have been to her.
All right. So, any other word on there after the name?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not switching places.
All right. So this particular space is kind of an odd one. So we are going to discuss this little tiny building over here. Just kind of keep in mind other tours will be passing through. They go from that little walkway to this one, so we just stay out of their way when they're doing that. They just like to cut through. We actually investigate the space. But this is the gunpowder magazine. It's a museum now, so if you ever need to get out of a heat or cold, it's a great $5 to spend, just so you know. But this building, those are not crosses on that building. Those are earthquake bolts. We talked about the big earthquake earlier. Those earthquake bolts are part of the reason why we're here, but let me explain what they are. Nobody's explained them to you. They're basically turnbuckles. So it goes all the way through the roof of the building. So if we have another earthquake, which we haven't, by the way, you can tighten those turnbuckles, and it's supposed to tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, but that shit doesn't work. So again, those are up there because those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. If you look at this apartment building, those are also earthquake bolts. You guys have been seeing them all over town with lion heads and pineapples and all kinds of Charleston charms bullshit on them. So that's what those actually are. And they still make buildings with this hooks in them. It's just part of our charm. But anyway, those are the first set of earthquake bolts they put in because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. So, our story is actually tied to that. This building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start her new life. So, this is what I call a familiar. For those of you that watch the TV shows, you've seen where they used like a teddy bear device to attract a child ghost?
Yes.
Because it's something familiar. It's the same principle here. So, again, that's why Anne Bonny said to be seen all over town because we have a couple of other buildings around that same time era, just nothing as old. I know history can be long. I'll call out no one's line, by the way. Anyway, the building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like a government small building, 10 years? No, not at all. I'll answer for you. But anyway, 1708, follow me, there's a lot of twists here. Young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far? Okay, good. There's a couple of twists. The three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was she that they had to leave the country by boat to land here? Anyway, that ended in Georgetown. It's just north of here. Dad bought a plantation, mom dies pretty quickly. And there's this young Anne down here to be able to sell anything from that plantation to help keep things afloat. So, hence the familiar building. Now, Anne back home in Ireland, kind of a badass even back then. Remember it's pirate wars? They say when she was 7, 8, 9 years old,
She was 8.
they say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. So we have had the term servant, knife, and belly all in the same evening. Take that for what it's worth. Fast forward. The building's done in 13. Pirates were starting to come through Charlestown in 1715. Anne is stoked. Why? She's going to fall in love, so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. So it's a man's world at this point. First guy she falls in love with, and yes, I said first because there's a handful, and we're going to go through them. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, right? We've already mentioned her pirate name. Dad didn't approve. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married, and Cormac is now Anne Bonny. That's where the pirate name comes from. However, James Bonny is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. He's a coward. She falls in love again a few years later. John Rackham. He goes by Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character on, just so you know who this guy actually is. Now, Calico Jack has his own ship. And wants to be part of that crew on the ship. Can't put a female on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why? Think family.
That's bad luck.
It is bad luck. Thank you for keeping it family friendly. I get a lot of bad answers to that. First information, right? Anyway, it is bad luck, so he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of the crew. She's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world, so now she's a pirate. But let's put 2 and 2 together. She's a female in Jack's quarters, which means she's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and then they're going to vote and get Jack off the ship. So Jack decides he's going to drop her off in Cuba. Have the baby here. These are friends of mine. Come back later and we'll figure it out. She goes and has the baby, but returns with no baby. I cannot find what the hell happened to this poor child. The weird thing is that she comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack angry. Now everybody's going to know he let a girl on the crew. While she was gone, giving birth, Jack captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. Anne's going to go flirting to make Jack even more mad. We're on guy number 3 in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. Now we have 2 females on the same ship trying to be pirates. Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know for sure, but the British find out where they are. They send a fleet of ships. Anne and Mary rumor is that they were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up with their 1-bullet flintlocks to fight off this whole fleet of ships. That's obviously not going to work out. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, Anne looks at Jack and she says, "I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." Dog is a very prominent word on your spirit boxes, just so you know. The judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men that fought back so valiantly on their own. Jack and the drunken pirates are already dead and gone. Anne and Mary go in front of the judge and reveal their gender, and he doesn't give a shit that they're female. They're still pirates. He's still going to hang them. So, we plead our bellies was the last thing they shouted because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. So he sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne, brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary. We don't really know. She has 4 kids and dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt ending because we don't know jack shit about her after her pirate career, to be quite honest. Like, there are so many rumors about that, but that's probably the most accurate information I can find. Mary Reed died a few months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates died from in a Jamaican jail. I don't know if either pregnancy was ever true of what they pleaded off to the judge, but I do know the judge's name. His name will show up here from time to time. A few things I left out. You all know what you're doing with your spirit boxes. Hopefully by now, we just got to get you 2 to actually start to hear some things out of there, so that way we can actually get some true answers. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents on purpose, so that way you guys had something to work with. I also left out the name of Calico Jack's ship, the color of Anne Bonny's hair. I'll give you that one. That one was red. You can picture an Irish woman with green eyes.
Aye.
And then the other piece was the name of the city where Anne grew up in Ireland. So, that's it. Anything else you want to ask? This is not a prominent English woman where we need to tiptoe around, just so you know. Poke the bear on this one. We did get the word demand already, which was almost kind of like my marker of like, oh yeah, don't forget to tell him to poke the bear. Let's get some answers out of her. Sometimes she doesn't respond until we actually like, hey Anne, give us some shit. We want to know what's going on. With not like the prominent English one we just talked about with Eliza Pinckney. So again, keep in mind there is another tour coming through with video cameras. Just be mindful of where you're at. So with yours, Jimmy, the ivy wall is not your friend, just so you know. Too much depth going on with that I've seen so far. And again, I've only had that camera for like 2 months, so and that's just what I've done.
It really
Anything
doesn't
wide
like
open.
any kind of structure at all.
Well, keep it wide open.
When you mentioned the mistress, it went to 30.
30?
30.
Holy cow. Jeff, have you gotten anything on yours? Well, I know, obviously.
Maybe like 1 or 2, but nothing.
Yeah, well, you know natural EMF is 1.1.
When you first started talking, and when you said he was his mistress, it went to 30. It's only gone as high as 6 cents, but that one word said it was 30.
Interesting.
When you said that she came back dressed like a female and he didn't like it, I got scared.
It's actually going to be more relative to Calico Jack, and I'll explain that before we...
So it's Anne's parents, the name of the ship,
Where she grew up,
where she grew up. And she had that.
and she had red hair. So
Got
anything
that?
else you want to know, by all means,
You have that?
go for it. Just no yes, no questions. But yeah, let's definitely spread out. Let's see what kind of footage we can get. Ouija board device, you're looking for ABMR. Did you get an RI back at Philadelphia Alley, by the way? Nothing? Open it, come up. Come on. And then MR for Mary. Go ahead and do it.
Can you make sure
so much.
Don't say that. That's yeah, you do.
Jeff, just so you know, we do have 2 electrical poles, and then the parking meters on the other side. Just, I don't get excited about the front half of it.
Oh, it went away. There was somebody right next to her.
What I do is I take those screenshots and light them up.
Okay.
To make sure that but I can show you guys that you have the original with a slide bar, so you can actually see my light version of it.
Okay.
You see like it's a legit photo.
Sure.
Yeah, shadows and absence of light.
Is it me?
We can see you.
Yeah, we can see you just fine. You just go about, you just keep on doing what you're doing, talking to the hand.
You got yours recording? Yeah, you're good too. How's yours coming along? Have you seen anything on that guy yet?
Ghosts like to follow me, but they just don't talk.
Well, you're not talking to them.
We'll tell you.
Because they don't like me.
Try to get the question, try to get answers to those 3 questions.
Wait, I gotta ask.
When we get stuff on there, that's like, oh my god, check this out. Can't make it up. Everybody wanted this. That's why I love it, but let's see what the girl is at. How's your reading coming?
Just 1 and lower.
Yeah.
Or like queasiness.
It's usually a bird problem.
Yeah.
That's your females that can't even come from this.
Listen, were they pregnant at the time? You're making a huge fool of me. Are you pregnant?
No.
I don't know. That's what she should say. I don't know if that. Okay. Well. Tell me the town that you grew up in. No, me. Yeah.
Oh, you had someone behind you for a second.
I did.
You did, yeah. Never tell though, it's just like something in the background, you know, that little house over there.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda sounds like Ireland.
No, it was definitely high something. But it was like either Highland or higher. I got 52 and 120. Do you want this? Because I'm getting a lot.
I haven't been. Did you try both
I'm going to follow
ears?
up with the other spare
I
boxes.
did not try both ears.
I'm getting a lot.
You okay, Joe?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
ASINN? Asian?
That's what I
That's what I
went
thought, but
Just
I saw like,
Asian?
Well, I got spanked earlier after it told me to comfort, and it said comfort, and it said worry, and then it said please.
Where were you when that said that?
Oh, right there.
Were you next
And then
to
they
her?
said that girl that they said saw a person. It was. So I'm like, did someone comfort me? And then over here, I got told to release.
Were you near me during any of those words?
No,
That's why I was waiting for you, like, remember it, something but apparently, look, relevant things so far. You're on a roll. Keep going. How's your week? Anything? Nothing. Great. Rachel, doing better. What do you got?
Sorry. Got shadow.
There's a couple of things going on
See
here
my
right now.
movement.
I see
You have
him.
no readings at all going on?
Nothing. Not
Jeff
since
doesn't
that
have
one word.
Jimmy?
We traded. We make sure
Gotcha.
that these settings are correct. Is that how fast it's moving?
That's how slow it's shit.
Well, is the speed right?
Yes.
Well, we just traded for a second because I've always wanted to see this. That's the video I have.
Of Rose in a dark closet in the Andrew Jackson Hotel in New Orleans and a ghost manifesting next to her and holding her hand. I have a video of it from a machine like that.
Can
yeah.
you send it to me?
Yeah.
Give me some.
I'll show it to you.
Come on.
It's on my phone.
Tell me about this ship. I want to know about the name of the ship.
I don't know.
You see anything?
No. But you did say that the biggest orb he's ever seen is on this lot.
The biggest what?
Orb from that direction.
I see, I don't believe in the orbs.
I do.
I think the orbs are bullshit. I think Ghost Adventures is bullshit. I watch Ghost Hunters.
No, I agree with that, but I do believe in orbs. Only because a friend of mine got pictures of his house and got orbs of his dad's favorite things, and his dad's been dead a while. It was a pig. He was a huge Cubs fan, and it was an orb of a cubby teddy bear. So I've seen enough of that to go, okay, there's something there.
She also had brown.
She had Parental and Lucas, I think. Yeah.
And
I got gun. Gun?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think we're getting all the bleed over from
You're
the
getting
alley.
bleed over from that, but there's also something else from another bleed over that I haven't even told you guys about yet that you guys are telling me. That are
Oh.
all the clues to that.
See, I like
Well,
what he's.
we just went to 6.
I like
When you said that, it went to 6.
It went, he knows.
See, I like him doing that because it's not feeding us what to tell him.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
See that gun?
See, I wouldn't do that, but there are stupid people that
He's
would.
not giving us the information. He's letting us figure things out, and then he's explaining them to us.
Yeah. Like,
So it makes more sense.
even if
that
I
way.
knew the information, I wouldn't lie about what I'm seeing. There's too many people that would.
That would, yeah.
So you like what he's doing?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Have you seen anything on that?
I thought maybe at one
It
point,
might
but
be
it
the
was.
camera.
Well, no, I thought. Boy, it could be true. I thought for one point, but it ended up being somebody hitting their alarm from over there, flashing over here. But
But I was asking him earlier, I was like, has anyone had really weird feelings here? Like queasiness? And he's like, no, just mainly heart palpitations. I've had some women who can't even step foot. And I was like, is that because they're pregnant? And he's like, no, are you pregnant? And I'm like, no, but my sister-in-law is.
What did you ask? I'm just trying to figure out the name. What did you ask them? Oh, I'm just asking.
See, these buildings like this, I would love to go in and explore. I like old things.
I heard heaven.
While you were moving, something green.
The problem with me using this is that I can't understand half of it. Lighting?
Because it was green next to
There.
Yeah,
there's like certain words I can tell they're saying words. I just can't understand
Can't make
what the
them
word
out.
is.
When you were panning across the house, there was something green right next to it. Well, it's being recorded, so maybe he'll. Yeah.
Yep. And maybe if I don't, you will. Because you're getting the video back. Yeah. Jeannie, you got anything going on?
Not other than Caroline.
Okay.
Sean?
Caitlin? You got anything else? Alright, yeah, let's head over to the wall. So that way we can actually just set the bag down. Sorry, I didn't mean to move the scooter.
I'm going to bow.
Yeah, go ahead and give it a stop. Kind of just be comfortable with it.
He's really.
Right when he was talking about a girl being buried alive in a tomb in that graveyard. I think Alicia's having fun. She's getting so many words. Are you okay?
I heard something say she deserves it.
Huh.
Oh, that's terrible. What were you talking about?
That was called a church. This, not being Church of England, they could not call it a church.
Could you keep an eye on her?
What?
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 Just to make sure she's okay and that she's doesn't get lost.
Okay. You're going to have to stay on her 6 because she's also behind this group.
Yeah.
Hello. Fancy seeing you here.
I'm listening to the spirit box.
On camera.
sorry.
And I got dictionary. And I was all like, wait, no. There's graveyard, I think there's a kid. What is that? What is that? Please tell me someone else sees it. Oh, never mind. Never mind. There's something in the other window as well. There's statues. Oh, where did everyone go? Okay. That freaked me out because I saw one. I only saw one. And I was like, oh God, what is that? Does anyone else see that? I'm about to lose my shirt. Oh, there's one in the other window. Oh, they are people. They are statues. Oh, should I be scared? I'm scared. Nobody freaked me out, man. I'm scared. Yeah,
And I get them right before I get certain words that are actually relevant to stuff.
so I had talked to him. I was feeling like kind of nauseous in the Annie thing. And then he showed the picture and like everything dropped to my stomach. And I'm like, oh.
I have a story for you. About 6-7 years ago, I was on a ghost tour at the bank that's built over the cemetery. So I called Joe and I'm like, this is the bank, this is the bank. And I was telling them that we were standing by the drive-through at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. He was telling us about the little girl that was buried alive in the tomb.
If that makes sense.
And the vacuum went off for the drive-through. So I'm telling this story to Joe. She's not around me. She's up ahead. And she turned around.
I like stop, take out my headphones, and right as they go up, I go, I just heard she deserved it.
As I'm telling Joe my story about the girl being buried alive.
And I got the word comparison as soon as she started to tell you about it.
That was creepy.
So when she's doing that and she goes, oh, this is the park. This is where I took all the pictures. I'm like, I'm scared.
Also,
yeah, I have pictures of orbs in the tree that I have like rapid pictures where it's there and it's gone.
Yeah.
when I was walking up just a little bit beyond where he is and coming, and as I was coming this way, I started feeling really heavy. And just now when I started to try to tell you about it, I kind of feel like a little drunk.
My hair stands up every time I enter this. Every time I enter this park, this particular park.
And I've got research is the word that's now on the screen.
So you're gonna blindfold them?
Yeah, but I need to. I'm gonna just explain what they're gonna be doing while I'm giving the rest of y'all the history. Like we're gonna go over to that monument, but I want everybody to kind of hear like what they're gonna be going through. These are obviously disposable blindfolds. I don't want them back. Eye boogers are yours. You get to keep those. So when you open these up, just keep track of your trash. I'll take it after we come back. You don't need to put these on until we come over, but I do want you to open it up, like pull up on the nose piece. It's 2-ply. You have to rip it pretty hard, and then what it'll do is it'll create 2 loops that'll go over your ears. It's not going to go all the way around your head. I'm also going to give you guys the noise-canceling headphones, so take one. The noise-canceling headphones, I want you guys to kind of get used to. When we come over, your family members are actually going to put these on you, but I do want you to kind of tinker around them, see how tight they actually are. They're still relatively new. They do get sanitized every day, so no worries there. But when we come back, like Don't put anything on until we come back. It doesn't always look good when I blindfold my guests in the middle of a dark park. So when we come back, we're going to huddle around them pretty tight, and we're going to get all the footage from all of the different cameras. But I am going to take everybody else over to learn the history of the space. And then we are going to come back. So
Y'all don't listen.
oh,
Well,
they'll be fine.
So we don't put these on yet.
No, you don't need to. I just want you to kind of get your hands on them, get a feel for them, and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, put your earbuds in.
not
so
necessarily,
you'll
not
hear
yet.
us. Okay.
Not until I come back.
Okay.
What's that?
If they put the earbuds in, they will hear us.
Yeah. But then this way, they just look like two ladies listening to earbuds in the middle of a park, and another, tour is going to come by going, what the hell is Nick doing now?
Do you have a reputation, sir?
Not a good one. All right, let's head over this way. Come on over,
Oh,
guys.
so we got the perfect guy. Right?
In other words, we're now fans of yours.
I get fan base from you guys.
Yes.
I will tell you that I just take a lot of business away from all of the other sports.
That's why they don't like you.
Because they're boring. They all tell the same stories.
So, first time I came in here, guys, I had no idea what we were going to find. Look around, there's a lot of monuments around. What we did find, what is that?
They're doing some kind of party over there.
Well, I was looking at the truck over the cobblestone. So, I only had 2 people the first time I came here. Every year I change this up. I take a location out and add a new location. I get a lot of repeat customers that don't want to always go to the same places, even though every investigation is different. Wow, it must be a wedding tonight. But anyway, the young lady using the spirit box, she heard a couple of things. First thing she heard was 1828, a very specific year, and then she heard the name Henry. I was using the word list that Alicia has, and the name Tim showed up on it the minute we walked in here.
Real quick, haven't you been hearing Henry a lot?
She heard it.
Henry
Got
from
it
the very
earlier.
beginning,
So,
multiple times.
Behind me is the bust of Henry Timrod, born in 1828. He was a writer and a poet. So we did hear on the other spirit box that Chris had that he wrote a book along the way here. Of course, we were talking about my books, but she heard it on the spirit box. Anyway, here's the quick and skinny on Henry. He was sick through most of his life. Being born in 1828, he's old enough to go fight in the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to go fight for the Confederates. So he goes out to the battlefield, and his comrades realize he's too sick to fight. So they sent him home, knowing he was a writer, and said, go be the voice of the war. He came home and started writing poetry about what was going on the battlefield. He became known as the Laureates of the Confederacy. It's a pretty big, prestigious title for us writers. Anyway, he has a son a few years after he comes home, and you guys are going to know about the son? They're not. The son's name was Willie. He actually was born on Christmas Eve and died 9 months later in October. So, hope to bear with Henry on the other side. But this being a very tragic death, him being only 9 months old, a few more years go by and he's not writing as much as he should be. So, his comrade, or his college buddy, calls him up and basically says, oh my God, I hate like when I'm shouting at you guys. I'm trying to make it dark and spooky, and you guys like I gotta yell. But anyway, his college buddy says, "Come out to my cottage in Columbia." He says, "You can use my cottage out here and finish working on what you're supposed to be doing, which is writing." So that's where he wrote his last words. His last words were "Beholder of brief mortality, person of short life." And then he coughs, and it lands on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. So that blood stain looks like a man writing at his desk. We call this the Blood Book. We show it one day a year at the Charleston Library Society, where the actual collection of Timrod is actually held. You have to be a member of the society to be able to see the Blood Book. However, the internet's beautiful, which means I'm going to show you the damn page, and then we're going to go poke the bear with Henry and see what the hell we can get out of him.
Was he by chance tall?
He was very short.
Oh, okay.
What, did you get
here,
tall?
on the walk here, I got tall, followed by down, and I was all like, are they just
This way this time. So you see, under brief mortality, blood stain, looks like a man writing at his desk. So again, kind of a creepy, good ending for us to...
Is this another one we shouldn't touch?
No, you're fine with this one. But you can see the blood stain.
No.
I'll be damned.
Pretty good stuff. So this to me tells the whole story. Beholder of brief mortality, person of short life, who coughs, who dies, lands right on the page. Oh, the wife's name was Katie, in case I bring that up based on what they're going to be telling me coming out of their spirit boxes. So when we get over there, I'm going to give them a few tips, as well as the group, so that way we all know what we're doing. Did you get anything when you walked around, by the way? I noticed you kind of wandered off as soon as you got here. So let's go see what we can get out of Henry. Let's do this. We're going to turn around and go get very close to them.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
What the crap?
I did it, which makes me think my reaction to the Might have been something. Rose, I need you to sit on the ground.
Are you okay now?
No problem. If I can get up.
This gets pretty intense. Don't put anything in yet. Go ahead and pull those out for me, Caitlin. Perfect. So, alright. Make sure you're okay. So, a couple of things. The way this is going to go down is we're going to keep you under for 10 minutes. And anything more than that can be a little disorienting for the first time you've ever done this. I'm going to be keeping an eye on your breathing, just to make sure you're not like heaving, kind of thing. In the event that you start to heave, or I feel like we need to pull you out of here, a family member is going to tap you on the leg. That means take your headphones off yourself and pull everything off. We need to get you out of here. If you are talking too loud, that means somebody's going to be tapping you on your shoulder. You don't need to shout. We can hear you. In fact, I want you to try to whisper. That's kind of the deal. We're all going to be huddled in really close, just to make sure, like, if other people are passing by, again, this looks very weird. That's perfect. Okay. So, I mean, and then we're all going to be filming. So, again, whatever we don't hear, we're going to get it on the film. So, I don't write anything down during this, just because I want to make sure I stay focused on real-time things. And again, it's just kind of this is an odd experiment to go through. And I do want you to tell me every little thing you're hearing. Also keep in mind it's okay to answer yes, no if you hear it. You don't know what I'm asking. I might ask something very, very specific that's a yes, no answer, but I will also direct the spirit to communicate a yes, no answer. So we'll see if we get either one of those out of it. Just don't forget to let us know what you're hearing. Some people get under and they're like, they just sit there for 5 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So, again, remember to tell us what you got going on. So, family members, I need one person for each person under. So, obviously, Jimmy, you're up. What's going to happen, too, is Jimmy's going to control your volume. And then Caitlin, whoever's going to work your spirit box, they need to work your volume. You're going to go up to turn the volume up. This is good, or turn it down too loud. So again, that's the hand signals to the other person. They're also going to help you with those noise canceling headphones to put them over your ears. So
over the earbuds.
Yeah, blindfolds first. Did you guys figure the blindfolds out?
No.
Okay.
How do we do that?
It is too far. So you pull it apart.
Okay.
Now it looks like a loop, and then you rip it here.
Yeah,
Ears?
we were messing with our.
It goes over my ears.
Yep, goes over your ears. Just goes over your ears. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, it's a throwaway.
Smile.
We'll get in the center. Pull hard. There you go.
Those are ear loops.
Ear loops. Okay, earbuds are next.
Smile.
Last time I was here, well, that one's blurred. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
It's moving. It moved. It's gone.
Smile. Oh, there's the camera.
Nick.
That means I need to be panned up.
Nick.
Oh wait.
This is October.
My hair. Sorry.
It started there.
Okay.
It moved over. It moved into the tree. It went away.
Oh.
Nice.
And then there's, yeah, I have it. And then it's there again.
That one there needs to be a little bit further. It has some color to it. Okay, so you know how to control the volume on that?
You said analyze further.
Maybe I'll send them the hell.
I just got birds.
You got what?
Birds.
Oh, they just had a hay
I know.
Sheesh.
Alright, everybody that's sitting, let's go ahead and let's stand up. I know I want to get like crowded into them really, really tight.
Like we're protecting them.
Yeah, exactly.
Behind them even?
Yeah.
We need to make a circle.
Volume is right here at the top.
Oh my god. You're
Probably too loud. Just go ahead and tone it down a
You're
little bit.
blowing my ears up.
Oh, Ty, you scared me.
I can't even. Okay, now it's too low. Turn it back up. But not so high. Sorry, am I being...
Nope.
Completely.
She can't hear me anyway.
I don't even know. I'm sorry if I'm being annoying, everybody.
No, you're fine. She doesn't know. Yeah, just set it off to the
Turn
side.
it up higher. I can't hear the voice.
What'd you say?
She giving the...
What'd she say?
I want to make sure we get it started at the same time.
Oh! Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good.
She's good. Go ahead and set it down.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right. I want everybody kind of in the front that has a camera. It's 11:13.
We're shooting at them?
Yeah, shooting directly at them. We are looking to speak with Henry Timrod. Timrod, you know how this works. The young lady sitting here with the things over their ears can hear you, so you need to be able to speak through them so that way we can actually understand that you're here. Henry Timrod, please start with telling us your occupation.
You really can't stop something.
Henry, please tell us what your occupation is to kind of prove that you're here to the rest of us. I know it's very noisy, it's a busy Saturday night for us, and I know you don't like all the noise. But if you could just tell us what your occupation is. Do we want to go straight into your family? Do we want to go into that instead of the formalities?
Wait, am I supposed to be talking now?
Yes.
What I hear? Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
tap me if it's a yes. Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Henry, please tell us about which family member you would like us to ask about first.
Don't jump. In a family,
Okay, Henry, can you tell us what sound we're hearing right now?
Chicago.
What sound just came from the church?
War and Fred?
Which war? Which war did you fight in?
To the grandest.
Hip hop. Ouch. Wait.
Henry, what sound just came out of the church?
3. World War 3 didn't happen.
She shouldn't be able to hear us at all.
Can you hear us? Today.
Henry, let's start over. I got a pretty large group with me tonight. Can you please tell us what your occupation was?
Brothers.
Doctor?
Who is actually here with us? Can you give us your first name?
Story.
Did I tell your story earlier?
Vet?
Who is actually here? Give us a first name, please.
Lydia?
Who is Lydia? I don't know who that is. I want to go back to Henry Timrod. Let's get into some of the details that you've given us in the past. Can you please tell us the name of your wife? We want some proof that you're here. Anybody else's device is doing it?
Not giving me anything.
Henry Timrod, please tell us anything you want us to know that's specific to you.
Franklin.
What'd she say?
Franklin.
This means nothing.
Well, we're trying to talk to you. We're trying to learn more about you. I told you I've been reading some of your poetry. I've been reading about your life. And we had a nice conversation. Doctor again. Do we have Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd here with us? That's a yes/no answer.
My soul means nothing.
Can you give us a yes/no answer if you are Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd?
I know you expect.
No, bitch.
Dr. Ladd's house is like a block away, just so you guys know why I'm like, they both gave us doctor, and I'm like poking to see if it's actually Dr. Ladd. Henry Timrod, please give us something specific about your life. Names of your family members, the year you died, the war you served in.
Serious wound.
It's a doctor again, isn't it?
Where
was the serious wound?
I was in the war.
What serious wound did you have? That'll help us identify you.
Blue.
It was me.
War.
I'm gonna explain that one. Damn it.
Blue War.
Blue War?
96.
Died.
Dr. Ladd died in 86.
Middle of the journey.
We need to know who's here.
Aaron. Somebody,
We need names.
it keeps saying Aaron.
How many of you are
A few
here?
questions about your.
How- It's always the same number
We
when I
were
ask that.
zero?
It's always
I
5.
don't- we were a 0? I don't know.
How many people do we actually have here with us? Because this is not making any sense whatsoever. Any readings, Jeff?
Vietnam?
She's all in the war.
She is
Yeah.
over there.
We,
Henry, I'm getting a little frustrated. This is a couple nights in a row where you haven't really given us much. Can you give us something specific?
Darla.
Who the hell is Darla?
There's a chance this is something new?
Thinking that
Possible. I mean, there's a lot of monuments in here. I get stuff from the other folks that are here too, but I always get the number 5 if we ask how many people are here.
Whatever it is, don't wait one more day.
Well, I'm trying not to. I want some damn answers already. Can you tell us your first name of who you actually are?
you are an example of someone who is a parent
That's a lot.
locally.
Well, Henry was a native, but that's kind of a big stretch. I didn't hear what she said.
Mary.
Who were you married to?
Who were Mary?
Department of Corrections.
Lois?
Anybody else got anybody listening? All the listening ones are being used. How's the Ouija board coming? Anything coming up on there? HT?
No. I've looked at it several times and it's did OD and OD. I don't know if that means anything.
I just got a company.
Henry, we're going to wrap this one up if you don't start giving us some answers. I'm going to give you like 2 more minutes. Tell us anything you want us to know. I've asked a lot of questions without really knowing who I'm talking to. If you're Dr. Ladd, say yes. If you're Henry Timrod, say here.
Yes. No.
Well, damn it.
Charleston.
Make up your mind. Dr.
Blindfold.
Yes, they are blindfolded because they're trying to listen to you. They take away their senses so that way they can hear you better.
Lipstick.
Yes, I told you she's going to have Tourette's. Did I not call it?
Boobs.
We have a dirty ghost.
What's hilarious?
Moon. What? Get out of my boobs.
So glad we got this on film for y'all, everybody.
Yes.
I think it's time to call it.
Is she wearing blue lipstick?
War.
Caitlin's been pretty quiet. Did you notice?
Firehouse.
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 Korean.
In my head, I was like,
She's getting all the
oh,
awards.
that's a nice
Yeah.
lipstick.
All right, family members, let's tap them on the leg. Let's get them out of there.
Statue.
Statue's here too.
She's not going to remember
Is that
what
because-
this means.
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
All right, don't get up. That's first and foremost. Do not get up.
Are you okay?
Yeah. So, You're probably feeling a little disoriented, so how are you both feeling right now? Caitlin, you look like you just took a nap.
Yeah, I'm good.
You actually did pretty well. So we did have like one or two like maybes, and you guys said some things that were kind of like a weird, like I don't know what the hell that is. Like the name Darla came up.
Name Darla. Name Lydia.
Yeah, Lydia showed up. I don't know who that is, but you both said doctor within 1 minute of each other. So I was trying to figure out, because Dr. Ladd's house is literally 0.3 miles right that way. So that's why I was like, we've been getting things about the house, but you guys didn't say anything relative to the house. It's yellow, not blue. You kept saying blue, but you also have a blue moon on.
Yeah.
But again, I look for things wrapped around the house.
It's like they started describing you.
Blindfold.
Yeah,
It's like almost like they were
blindfold.
telling us that you could see you.
Yeah.
Are you wearing lipstick?
I
Yes,
am.
okay.
And I never do. But I am
It was
today.
like blindfold, lipstick, boobs, moon.
Yeah.
All right, so those of you with cameras, by all means, go ahead and stop your cameras. I would say that this is, normally I go from